Hello, I am Mr. McCarthy. You can see my lovely picture right here. And I'm going to do my presentation for you to tell you all about me. So, I was born November 11th. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. So, this is a picture I took. I like to take pictures. And if you want to know where that's from, I'll be more than happy to tell you. When I was a kid, I moved down to Murray, which is where I grew up. It's in the western part of the state. I also lived in Albany, Georgia when I was in 6th grade for 1 year, and then we moved back to Murray. When I graduated high school, I went to Morehead State University. I have 2 degrees. I have a degree in computer information systems, and then I also have my master's in teaching. From there, I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, and I was teaching at a school up there. This is a picture I took from the northern Kentucky side. So from there, I started getting involved in football. My first job coaching in college was at Hutchinson Community College, which is a 2-year school located in Hutchinson, Kansas, which is way out here where this little red dot is. From there, I moved to Erie, Minnesota, and I was at Vermilion Community College. And Erie is right here, and it's about 2 miles from Canada. From there, I moved to Tupelo, Mississippi, and I was coach for the Mississippi Mudcats, and this was professional indoor football. I moved to Erie, Pennsylvania, and I was at Mercyhurst University. And Erie, Pennsylvania is right here where this dot is on the Great Lakes. So I saw a whiteout from snow. It was snowing so hard I couldn't see my hand in front of my face. From there, I moved to El Paso, Texas, which is on the border. So I did not take this picture, but this is El Paso, all the big buildings, and then all this little stuff you see back here. This is actually Ciudad Juarez. So this is Mexico. Then from there, I went to Kent, Washington, which is right here just south of Seattle. I was the head coach for the Kent Predators, which is an indoor football team. And this is me when I was the head coach. From there, I moved to Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, and I was the head coach for the Bricktown Brawlers, and this was indoor football again. And then from there, I moved to Everett, Washington, and Everett is just north of Seattle. So this is indoor football, and we play 8-on-8. And the coach stands on the field. So this is me standing down here on the field. And our field is 50 yards long and about 33, 34 yards wide. We actually play inside of a hockey rink. From there, I moved to Pontoise, France. So this little red dot out here, this is where I lived, and this is Paris. So from where I lived, the red dot to Paris was about a 45-minute train ride. And I was at the Eiffel Tower, and then this is Notre Dame. So this is me while I was coaching out there. So all these guys are French except for number 2. He was an American, and this was my other American. So we got 2 Americans, and everybody else was a French citizen. From there, I moved to New Rochelle, New York, and I was at a junior college up there called Monroe College. So junior college, you go for 2 years, and then you transfer out. So from here to downtown New York was about a 45-minute train ride, and I was in Grand Central Station. This is a picture of New York. So this is the new World Trade Center building that they had built, and this is after the old ones got knocked down. From there, me and my now wife, we moved to Jacksonville, Florida. So I did not take this picture, but this is downtown Jacksonville. And then from there, we moved out to Salt Lake City, Utah. I didn't take this picture, but this is what it looks like. You have downtown Salt Lake, and then there's mountains behind it with a lot of snow. I did take this picture in this valley. Pictures don't really do it justice because you could easily fit entire the town of Owenton, and maybe even Owen County inside of here. It was that big and that deep. I did take this picture. This is just some growth they have out there with the rock formations. I was the head coach for the Salt Lake Screaming Eagles, which was an indoor football team. I did take these pictures. Again, pictures don't really do the justice for the size of this. This is a etching that was done in rock, and it's probably 1,000 years old. So it was neat to see that. It might even be older than that. I'm not sure exactly how old it is. It might be 2,000 years old. Don't remember the date. But this was neat because it was really, really huge, and there's a lot of these etchings out there in the rocks. And now me and my wife, we live in Frankfort. My favorite place to go is the beach. This is down in Florida. So these are all rocks, and it's neat because at high tide the water comes over the rocks, and then at low tide the water goes out. So you get a lot of little tide pools, and you can go find some creatures and shells and all kinds of stuff in those little areas. This is the west side of Florida. You can actually see the sun setting on the west coast on the Gulf side, and this is a beach in Puerto Rico that I went to. So my favorite sports team is Cincinnati. Again, this is probably the same picture from earlier that I took. This is from the northern Kentucky side. Growing up, my favorite musician was Tupac. My favorite movies, Christmas Vacation, 25th Hour, and The Program. And a quote that I like, life is a risk. I do like to have fires. In the wintertime, I have a fire just about every weekend, so this is one that I had before. And I do like to go fishing. So this is a northern pike that I caught fishing up in Canada. These are red drum or redfish. These are saltwater fish, and these are actually a delicacy. And then this guy's called a sea robin. So he actually kind of walks on the bottom. He has a flat bottom. So this is a walleye, and then this is a northern pike, and these are both up in Canada. Usually go up every year and go fishing. Some things about me, I tore my ACL, which is a ligament in your knee. Was messing around in the football field and tried to change direction, and it sounded like a shotgun went off, and I heard it, and I felt it, and my knee swelled up something terrible. When I was doing track, I threw javelin and shot put and discus. My senior year in track, I tore my ulnar collateral ligament, which is a ligament that comes around here on your bones on your arm. If you're into baseball, you may have heard of Tommy John, and that's what I would have needed to have done. So I was throwing the javelin, and again, you could hear the ligament pop, and I felt it and heard it. I do drive a Jeep, so this is out in Utah. These are aspen trees. I have a hole in my nose. I don't really know where it came from. Yes, I can stick stuff in it, and I can stick a toothpick in it, and it'll hang out. It's about as far as I've made it. So this is my family. This is my dad. This is my mom. This is my sister, and this is my other sister. So that's a little bit about me. Some of you have heard this probably now for the fourth time, so hopefully it hasn't changed. Maybe it has. Look forward to having a great year with everyone, and hopefully you do too.